I'm Doug Hall from Race Off Road. Today we're going to go through the essentials of your kit that you need to race cross triathlon. I raced XTERRA France last week. I'm going to show you what I've used. Okay, so we're going to start with the swim. First of all, you're going to need something you can swim, cycle and run in. So a Trisuit is your best option for this. I've been using a Primal short-sleeved skin suit, designed for cycling but with a triathlon chamois pad in with a front zip so you can get it down to cool off when it gets a little bit hot. No pockets, so that for non-wetsuit swims you don't have to worry about sort of slowing yourself down. It does mean you have to sort of stick your gels to your bike with some duct tape, etc. But it's a small price to pay for that extra little bit of swim speed. Okay, so for wetsuit compulsory swims, you're going to want a suit from a reputable brand. In my case, I use a Blue 70 Helix. The wetsuit really helps you with your extra buoyancy. It keeps you warm during the cold swims. It helps you keep afloat. So if you're a little bit nervous about open water swimming, you will not drown wearing one of these. You're looking for good flexibility around the shoulders and the arms, but then a decent amount of buoyancy and flotation across the lower back, the backside, and then the tops of the legs. You want something that's easy to take off. So in this case, this has got a rear zipper, so it's really easy to undo and take off on that run into T1. Lastly, for the swim, you're going to want a nice, comfortable pair of goggles. This is a really personal preference. Coming from a swimming background, I like using kind of the small race pool, swimming pool kind of goggles. But you might want something with a big, large, kind of good vision, really comfortable straps. It's such a personal thing that it's very difficult to tell people exactly which goggles they should wear. Again, I use a Blue 70 goggle, but there's so many different options out there. My best advice would be just to try as many as possible. Find one you're comfortable with and stick with it. Onto the mountain bike section. So I'm using a full suspension 29er. It's a giant Anthem. I picked this bike basically because the big wheels are really fast rolling. The full suspension is really quite nice. It's not essential, but it really does help with being able to run off. It just helps protect your back. You have to work less hard to absorb any of those bumps. I like using a Vittoria Mezcal. So when it's nice and dry, the tyres super fast, the knobs are nice and close together. I'll run them at around about 25 psi, so not too hard but not too soft, much lower than road pressures. You want the tyre to be able to deform around rocks, around roots, and be able to actually provide that smooth ride and give you the grip and the traction that you'll really need for racing. So for the mountain bike section, I'm using a Gayen mountain bike triathlon shoe. SPD shoes come in all shapes and sizes, but I've gone for one with a single big strap. It means I can kind of treat it like a triathlon shoe. I can get my feet in and out nice and easily. They're a pretty well built shoe. They've got a good sole on the bottom with some decent grip, so if I have to get off and run and push anywhere, I can do. They also come with little tabs, so I can put some little elastic bands around my shoes, attach them to my bike, so if I've got the opportunity to do sort of a shoes in pedals flying mount kind of thing, then I can do, which is pretty rad. Safety first, you'll need a decent helmet. Any kind of helmet will do as long as it meets the various safety standards. There's a variety of different brands out there. I use an Oakley helmet. I find it really comfortable. The retention system on the back is super easy to adjust. It is personal preference, so pick a helmet you find really comfy and stick with it. Final trail running segment. It massively depends on the kind of the terrain you're facing in the race. It's worth doing a little bit of research, knowing that if it's a flat, sensible, grassy run, then you can get away in regular running shoes. If it's a very extreme or the weather's been bad, then you might find that a set of real proper trail shoes might be more important. I've actually gone for something a bit in the middle, so they're kind of a lightweight trail shoe from Salomon. So there's a moderate amount of grip on the bottom, but they're quite a lightweight shoe. And I've added in some elastic laces as well, just so I can put them on a little bit faster in transition. So the last piece of equipment is a race belt. It's a really simple piece of elastic that you put on in T2 with your race number already pinned on. You just step into it and you're good to go. Okay, so that's my kit that I used for XTERRA France. If you've got any questions about any of the bobs or anything else that you might kind of find to do with equipment for cross triathlon, add it in our comments below on the Facebook page or the Instagram page and we'll get back to you straight away. Otherwise, see you next time.